So why do most people fail in property investing and how you can avoid this? The one big thing I keep seeing people doing is trying to figure out too many different strategies at once and try too many different strategies at once. It's stopping you from achieving the success you want. I'm a big believer that you just need one thing and one thing only to get you to great heights in property. Like, stop looking for the quick win. My biggest pet peeve at the moment is like, people want to create wealth, right? And they expect to see quick results when creating wealth. But the word wealth has never been defined as a short-term win or short-term gain. It's always been a long-term play. These are like 10 years, so these are like decades. Because this is something that's beyond you, right? How can you expect to create something that is beyond you to take months or weeks to see results? Like, you've got to kind of expand your expectation, kind of delay gratification in terms of like, you are trying to create wealth. Yes, you want to amass the wealth in a time frame that is reasonable, that allows you to enjoy a bit of it and not just create the wealth people around you to kind of enjoy and people beyond you to enjoy it, right? But we are in a wealth creation strategy. So if you're trying to create wealth, first things first is let's focus on that one thing. So I know there's so many different strategies out there: deal sourcing, commercial conversions, rent to rent, HMOs, buy to lets, land development. There's so many things out there. But for me, all these are different vehicles within property to get you to an outcome. So if your goal is to create wealth, for me, that comes through ownership. So that eliminates a lot of the strategies that are available to you in the marketplace. So if you want to create wealth, deal sourcing can't be something that you want to start on. And some people say, oh, but you want to kind of start on deal sourcing because that's maybe where your capital position is, or maybe you haven't got a great job, maybe you want to start deal sourcing to kind of replace that job. But for me, the real question is like, if you genuinely hate your job and you want to do anything else that's just different to your job, then fair enough. Okay, cool. Maybe start deal sourcing and do that as a job to try and build some capital rather than being your current job, which you currently hate. So maybe that's a avenue. But if you're in a job and you're just trying to supplement your income and trying to increase your income, for me, my argument is I'd rather you just take your time. Like, it's okay to be in a job that you hate or you don't even like or hasn't even got the earning potential you want, and find a strategy that actually helps you long-term create wealth. And what I mean by this is, rather than trying to see a quick win or trying to source a deal to a property investor and make what, I don't know, £5,000, £3,000 for every deal that you source on, that is just another income stream. And that isn't creating you wealth. That isn't like, that's just another job. So for me, it's like, why start something of that manner if it is not really solving for the long-term problem, which is to actually create wealth, to buy your time back and not have to keep working and trading your time for money. Because to have a job, a full-time job that requires 8 hours or 10 hours of your day, and then to go and start another business, which is deal sourcing, to then go and do that, which requires the same amount of time, 8 to 10 hours a day, to really see the rewards and reap the rewards, you're going to need to spend 8 to 10 hours a day, factually. Like, I haven't seen anyone do deal sourcing and get it really right and see lots of deals being done every single month, not treating it as like a full-time job and their full-time thing that they do. To get great at it, you've got to put your full energy into. So for me, it's like trying to do these two things at once doesn't, like, it's like diluted efforts. Like, I'd rather, if I'm going to split my time across two things, let it be worthwhile. So let me create something that is actually creating me wealth. And for me, that's ownership, that's buying property. And that's why I'm big on, like, I would rather have a slow start and not try and get this quick win of like, oh, I want to get some money, so I want to do some deal sourcing and try and build a capital up. I'm like, do the maths. Like, where's the maths? Where does the maths add up to even help you buy a property? Not many people can say they've done deal sourcing and actually allow them to go out there and start buying property. Only a few percent people, like sub 1% people have actually made that work. So for the majority of you, like, you're better off just staying in your job. If you want to make more income, look at what you can do in your current job to acquire more income in that job. And in parallel, use the money you're making from your job to invest into your education. Because for me, skills are the best thing you can invest your money into when you're broke. And that means if you have 10, 20,000 pounds, 30,000 pounds, when you have that level of money, you're still broke. Like, I'm sorry, 50,000 pounds, you're still kind of broke, because what can you really do with 50,000 pounds? I might argue I can buy some property up in the north and get started on property. I'm like, okay, but then you haven't acquired any skills. You spend 50,000 pounds, you're back to zero. What would you do now? This what I mean by you're still broke. Nothing's really changed. You bought one asset, okay, great, but like, it's not scalable. So I'd rather you spend that money, and it's why I did, right? I invested all my money when I was working in the corporate world into my education, because I understood that if I can just learn how to play this game and learn from people that have been there and done it before. There is no way in hell how I can't go on and achieve that thing. So just take that step back and say, look, I want to create something that's beyond me. I want to create wealth. I want to create passive income. This all requires something whereby you might have to do work up front initially to start with, and then long term reap the rewards from that. And that's okay. And that's why you need to kind of switch the minds of like a quick win or see 5K a month or 10K a month in the next couple of months to actually know I might spend the next 12 months building something that actually, once I've built it, provides me recurrent income every single month. Because for me, there's no benefit of like gaining an extra 5, 10K income if I have to keep working for that 10K every single month. I might also not have it. It's just, for me, it's just another job. Like, I have not gained any financial freedom. You might perceive, well, if I get 10K a month, I am now free. Well, that 10K a month is only made because you're going out there and working every single day. If you stopped tomorrow, you no longer make 10K a month. And that is my point. And some might argue, oh, but I can create a business and maybe systemize and, bro, just lie to yourself. Like, stop creating these things. Like, these things don't, again, 0.01% get it right. Create a team and they become leverage, and then now they're not in the business anymore. But it still takes years to get to that point. So for me, it's like, I would rather go down the route of focusing on that one thing that creates me wealth, that creates me something that I don't have to keep investing my time into to keep making that money on a monthly basis. And that's why I went down the route of ownership and buying property. And what better way to get ownership and on top of that get cash flow, but to invest in properties that I can convert to multiple units. So buying a house, converting it to 6 units and above, 6, 7, 8 units, and then getting rental income from those properties. Yes, it might take you 6 and 9 months to get to the point where it provides your income, but you've now got an asset that has maybe 100 to 200 grand of equity in that property. And now, on average, you're seeing about 5K a month from that single property in revenue. So that is, for me, a great way to kind of start compounding and building. And someone argue, well, Alfred, why did you get the money to get started? And again, I acquired the skill of how do I learn how to raise money from investors that actually have the money that I want? And how can I provide a value proposition to these individuals that have the money so that I can go and buy the property? And again, I'm a big believer, like, even worst case, right? Even if you use the money you earn from work, you harder the money from work to acquire the skill of learn how to invest in property, or as a bare minimum, right? You can still go out to someone that has money and provide a value proposition whereby, worst case, you guys own everything 50-50, i.e., you have the knowledge, you have the time to go out there and build a portfolio, have the team to execute in the process of refurbishing property from start to finish. And the investor is just solely there as a financing partner to say, hey, I've got £1 million, I've got £2 million liquid. Like, that's your job, to go and find that person. It only takes you a year, 2 years to find that one person. That is a better place to be in terms of you've now found someone who's willing to go on the same journey as you to build a portfolio that provides an income and have an asset base that actually is worth something. So let's say you stopped work and you've still got that equity in each property you can dispose of if you wanted to dispose of it. Why would you if it provides you income on a monthly basis? And that's my point. Like, you've built something that is now sustainable, long-term, it's going to provide you wealth through income and capital appreciation. It's a no-brainer, like, and I'm like, I really want to dispel this whole thing of like wanting to get started with dual source and rent-to-rents. Like, I mean, I really, I feel like people are just doing a disservice. If your goal is to create wealth and financial freedom, and like, these are passive income. These things only come through ownership. I'm sorry. We can argue about this all day. We can, and like I said, I'll debate anyone. Tag your favorite guru. I will jump on anything. Podcast, interview. I will debate to the nth degree because there's no data that can prove that what they're saying is true. And this one, like, show me the data. You're teaching someone, yes, okay, you're teaching someone how to find deals through deal source and sell out to package and sell it to an investor. That's still a job. How is that person going to become financial free doing that? Because if they stop doing that service of providing a deal, they make no money. They might be making 20K a month. They go to zero because they stopped doing a service. If I stop today, I am still going to make £36,000 every single month because I've done the work. I've created assets. I've got millions of pounds in properties sat there doing nothing, in equity which is going to grow in these properties. And I'm getting a check every single month for doing no extra work. Who would you rather be? The person that, when they stop, they go down to zero income, or the person that stops and still has money coming in on a monthly basis? So for me, this is why I'm finding a corner. Like, I really want to just share this as much as possible and get people to kind of hear this and just get them to reason and think and like stop trying to make the quick win. You want to create wealth. Wealth has never been a quick win. It's always taking years to create wealth. So play the long game so you can have the rest of your life. Like, I always argue, like, would you sacrifice 4 or 5 years of a time to then have the next 20 years, to have the amazing life you want, to have everything that you want, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not? Like, I'm not here, and I guess for me, I've never been in the mindset I want to make a quick win and I want to make a quick buck, like, because quick money don't last. It's not sustainable. And so, like, I want you to switch on the mindset. And like, again, I guess I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but the initial video is why people fail in property in general, right? And to be fair, this kind of covers it because people are going down the route of the low-hanging fruit, which is dual sourcing, rent to rents, and then quickly realize actually that thing that I was doing is not going to get me to the outcome I want. I've been doing it for years, I've been doing it for months now, or even years, and they just give up. Like, oh, this is just not making sense. I'm overworking. I'm too busy with work. I'm too busy trying to spend time with my family, and I'm trying to build a side hustle. And again, I hate the term side hustle. Like, it's not a side hustle if you're trying to make this thing your main thing, i.e. you're trying to build wealth from this thing. It's actually probably, I would say, it's your main hustle. Your work becomes your side hustle. Your work is just the thing that's feeding you the income to pay your bills. And the thing that you're creating here is actually the thing that you're going to invest all your energy into, so it becomes your main hustle. You're trying everything in your power because you know if I can get this right, I become truly financially free long term because I have equity in property. I have income from property, which is not requiring much of my time once I have built it. Like, for me, what my day-to-day looks like, I'm in Dubai now, right? I live in Dubai now. Again, if this thing was fake and it wasn't really real, there is no way I can move my family out to Dubai and be living in this nice apartment, I've got the craziest of views. Like, it's not like, and not be in the UK. Like, how is that possible? I built this foundation that for me, it's indestructible. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. Money pours in every single month. Yes, I get the notification email from an agent saying, hey, we have an issue with the property, the maintenance issue. There's a team that's out there to solve the problem. Unless it's like a big bill, they're not really going to message you about it. They might write an email to inform you what's happened and what the solution is and who's gone out to solve the problem. And the invoice say this is what we paid the contractors for the work done. Because I've already pre-approved, like, hey, don't message me. It's like £300, £400, £500. I don't want to hear about it. Like, the money needs to be spent anyways. What are you calling me to ask me about what contractor should we use when all I'm going to ask you is to go out there and find 3 quotes and take the best quote forward and get them to fix the problem? I'm still going to spend the money. So, like, yes, to some maintenance, but that's part of the numbers. Every business has expenses. You're going to have to expect to spend some money on your business to keep it going and making sure you're providing the best service to your, in my case, tenants who are living in our properties. So I'm saying this to kind of get you just to realize you've got to get focused on just one thing and make sure that vehicle you're in actually is truly solving for your long-term goal. And don't be in this mindset of, I've got to start here to get to this point. And actually, you can drop me, again, if you have a different viewpoint, please share in the comments. I'm happy to kind of see what the viewpoint is. But like, I'm not sold on, hey, I've got to start on rent to rent. I've got to start dual sourcing to build a capital out to start buying property. Or I have no money, so I want to start with rent to rent and dual sourcing so I can then start buying property. For me, it's the wrong mindset. You don't want to make financial decisions based on your financial circumstances because that's what's robbing you of your achieving your success. If you think that I need to now make a decision based on I only have £0 or I have 5K only, I've got 10K only, so the best thing for me to start is rent to rent because that's what I can afford. I didn't do that. When I first started, I didn't have money. I didn't say, oh, because I don't have money, I'm not going to look to buy a property. I said, no, I understand I don't have money, so I'm going to solve for that problem of how can I find the money? And for me, that was raising money from investors to allow me to get into the deals. And that's the mindset I was in. I've never done rental, I've never done deals, also never done buy-to-lets. Again, I didn't do buy-to-lets very soon because the income it produces doesn't make sense. I'm not going to spend £70,000 to £80,000 in a property to then only see £200-300 a month. Like, I was earning £5,000 a month from work. Wow, I need something at least 1,000 plus in income from a single property, minimum as profit. So that's why I went to HMOs, and HMOs provided me on average £1,500 to £2,000 a month profit from a single property. And that's why I was like, okay, cool. This is the only thing that makes sense. I can get into straight away on day one. All I got to figure out is the money part. And it was not to go and do rent to rent or dual sourcing to figure out the money. It was to find investors because I just knew I can raise money faster than earn it or save it. And that's a core principle that I live with now. Like, you can always raise money faster than you can save or earn it. Like, if someone's trying to find £1 million, you can try and earn it and save your way there, but how long is that going to take you? Even if it took you 1 year to find someone that has £1 million who's willing to trust you because you have the knowledge and execution to go out and do it, you're further ahead than someone that's trying to earn £1 million net profit to then go and start buying property. That person might take 10 years. And this is what I mean, like, just pour this out on the table, and it's like, you can't argue the fact that what I'm saying does make logical sense. Like, it doesn't make logical sense. You can go out there. What allows you to be able to access money is knowledge, like the know-how of how to go and find a great deal, to go and put a team together to help you build a portfolio. This comes from like solicitors, a finance broker, your build team, your management team in the back end to manage the tenants. Like, you need to be able to go out and actually understand the full end-to-end process, how to do this correctly, and make sure you're not like guessing your way. As I might think, oh, I can go buy some, I can put a team together. There's a lot of risk that comes to this stuff, right? And that's why for me, I'm big on like get people around just been there and done it before and learn from them, because they are going to shortcut your learning process. What might take you 3 years might now take you only a year to achieve, because you have the right people behind you and people talking actual sense into you, and more importantly, the right stuff into you to allow you to go out there. So I know I've babbled on quite a bit, but like, I just really wanted to share this perspective with you guys. Like, I've been there and done it, and I'm just trying to share what I've done to work and what I've been proven to work. And like, I now have the life I want. I can be any part of the world I want to be, and I can everything. Like, life is different. The guy who was